Today, I want to talk about my philosophy in solo queue that has helped me from going hard stock gold for years to peaking up into the upper half of Grandmaster, up close to Challenger, and hopefully Challenger in the near future. So, I think I have a unique kind of perspective given my history. I was legit hard stock gold for like 6 or 7 years. Bottom of gold 4, bottom of gold 5 back in the day, if you guys remember those days. And I just could not move. And then I got really serious. I got my stuff together in about a year and a half. I went from gold all the way up to masters. And then since I've hit masters, I've been coaching. So it's been about a year and a half, 2 years of coaching, about a year of full-time coaching. And I keep getting higher and higher. And I wanted to share my philosophies that I've learned not only from my experience of being hard stuck and then being able to climb up, but also my experience in coaching others and doing kind of similar journeys. So today, that's what we're talking about. So the first kind of rule and philosophy I want to talk about is having fun. Having fun. It's really important that we have fun when we play League and that we play League in a way that is fun and engaging. Everybody can climb, but climbing isn't for everybody. And what I mean by that is like everybody has the potential to hit diamond. Everybody has the potential to hit masters and beyond if you have the time for it. However, not everybody's going to find that fun. Not everybody's going to find that engaging. Not everybody's going to find that a meaningful use of their time. For me personally, I really enjoy getting ranked. I am really competitive. Any game I've ever played with a rating system, I have like really tried my best to get to the top of the rating system. You know, whether it's been chess or whether it's been like rank in my school, like for like classes and stuff, whether it's World of Warcraft arenas, just anything with a rating system I have fallen in love with. And League, despite League's flaws, League has one of the most engaging rating systems I have ever played. Hitting Diamond in League, hitting Masters in League, hitting Grandmasters in League have all been experiences that I haven't had anywhere else. I haven't had it in sports, I haven't had it in other games. It's been a really special thing, and that's why I play. I love that. I live for these kind of competitive expressions of myself. And League allows me to do that in a very, in a way. And that enjoyment is what keeps me going. So not every day is going to be the best day ever. Some days are going to suck. Some games aren't going to be fun. However, that kind of underlying enjoyment of just competing and expressing and trying my best, I love that. I thrive on that kind of environment. So for me, climbing is just a part of my nature. For some other people, they play League for different reasons, right? A lot of people play League socially and they'll only play it when their friends are online. And for that person, they're not going to climb very far. And that's okay because they don't play to climb. The only time it becomes a problem is if they have ranked goals, but they don't actually play to play ranked. If you play to play socially or you play for a different reason, you shouldn't have ranked goals. You want to play in a way that aligns with how you want to play. You should set goals. You should organize your day in ways that align with how you want to play. So for me, as somebody with ranked goals, I like to set, or somebody who's really competitive, I like to set ranked goals. Somebody who's social shouldn't care about rank, other than, maybe like, oh, I bet we can duo to this rank, or I bet we can do this or this. But they shouldn't worry too much about the hustle and bustle and the improvement process you have to do anyways, right? Like when I coach somebody who has ranked goals, I tell them like, hey, don't play complicated champions, play simple champions, play a small champion pool. Like there's these kind of rules you have to do. And those rules are fun for me to follow because I know I'm going to climb better for it. But somebody who plays socially or somebody who plays for fun, you can't follow my rules if you don't want to get my results, right? You got to kind of follow rules that align with how you want to play. My number one philosophy is you have to play in a way that is fun and engaging and meaningful. Number 2, simplify as much as possible. Now, League is an incredibly complicated game, right? You go into a game, there's 9 other players, there's like 160 different champions. Every champion has like 4 different abilities. Half the champions have like 2 passives. And there's just so much stuff going on. There's a bunch of jungle monsters and objectives and dragons and dragon souls. It's like, what the heck is all of this stuff? There's a ton to it. And it's really hard to figure out what to focus on and what to do next, especially if you're a newer player or just especially when you're trying to climb and learn in general. So my goal as a player in my own journey and as somebody who coaches other people is to simplify things as much as possible and focus on small subsets first. So League as a whole, very complicated, but I'm trying to break League down into 100 different little things, take one small little fraction of League, make a simple rule, and then get really good at this little fraction. And when we get good at this fraction, I put it back into the whole holistic puzzle. And then we break it down again. We find another little one and we make it simple. And then we do that, right? And this is how I format my learning objectives. This is why we do things like having a limited champion pool, because limiting your champion pool is a way to really get away at that champion mastery kind of fraction of League of Legends. It makes it a lot easier and a lot quicker. That's the whole idea. I try to take that philosophy with every fundamental in League. We're talking about map awareness. We're going to get really focused on map awareness, and we're going to talk about it in the context of our games, and we're going to make simple rules. And that's what we're going to focus on for the next 10 to 20 to 30 games until we're comfortable with it, and then we'll go on to the next thing. So simplifying our learning objectives is really important. I actually want to give some sports analogies, and I learned this from playing sports. There's two sports that I've played with my family. They're kind of obscure sports, but I'm going to give two examples. The first one is a table tennis example. It's my table tennis shirt. After this video, I'm gonna go play some tonight, so it should be fun. So in table tennis, ping pong, whatever you want to call it, whenever you're serving, you kind of want to have a game plan, right? So let's say that my game plan is I'm gonna serve you, and I'm gonna serve like an underspin ball, and you're gonna push it back, and then I'm gonna push it, and then I'm gonna go for an attacking shot. And that's kind of the rough game plan. Well, to practice that rough game plan, what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna break it down. First, I'm gonna work on the serve. And I'm just going to sit in the practice hall. I'm going to sit on the table and I'm just going to practice my serve. I'm just going to do that for hours. And then I'm going to get somebody else and I'm going to have them drill with me the next shot, the push. And we're just going to push for hours and hours and hours. And we're just going to push. Just going to keep it simple. Then we're going to go to the fifth one and I'm going to practice the attack shot for hours and hours and hours, just practicing that attack shot. And then after we break the small things into details, then I can start to practice it holistically. But we will learn the holistic picture much faster by breaking the skill into subsets and then working on the subset. So rather than just getting somebody and say, hey, return my serve, and then I'm going to push, then I'm going to hit it, I'm going to practice the serve first, and then I'm going to go practice something else, and then I'm going to go practice something else. Another example is disc golf. If you guys have never played disc golf, it's very similar to golf. It's just with a disc, you have it like a disc and you just throw it, right? So in that, let's say you want to get really good at throwing farther. Or let's say that like you're going to play disc golf and you realize you can't reach a lot of the holes, and you got to learn how to throw farther. Rather than just playing a course out over and over and over again, what we're going to do instead is we're going to go to a field and we're going to practice our driving technique. And then we're going to break our driving technique down. First, we're going to work on the reach back. Then we're going to work on the steps. Then we're going to work on the turn. Then we're going to work on the core. Then we're going to add it all together slowly after breaking it down. League of Legends is very similar. The only difference is rather than having to worry about coordinating our body to do a thing or to like hit a tiny little ball, we have to coordinate our brain to make our ideas, make sure we use our spells at the right time, make sure we attack at the right time, we recall at the right time, we move throughout the maps at the right time. Now to do this, it's the same idea of breaking down the skills and focusing on those, but in League, we can't really do drills as easily. I mean, you can for some mechanical ideas, but you have to simplify the game for what you're trying to work on, go into games and focus on the thing you're trying to work on, and only focus on improving that small little subset of things, and just keep it as simple as possible. If the game is too complicated, it's very hard to climb. It's very hard to know where to go next. Keep it simple. Okay, number 3, the final little philosophy and tip that I use is extreme responsibility. Now, in any team game, right, whether it's League of Legends or it's basketball or whatever, one person doesn't have absolute control over everything, right? No matter what team game you're playing, your teammates can take a win away from you, or they can force you to win, maybe because the enemy team's really bad and your team's really good, without you having absolute say over it. You do influence it, but you don't absolute have control. However, given that fact, the more stuff that you can take responsibility for, the more that you'll be able to look at your own gameplay and improve yourself. Therefore, increasing the influence you have on your games and increasing the amount you'll be able to improve. So the better you are, again, the more influence you have on your games. So oftentimes I'll have games where I get inted and I will still take responsibility for the game, right? I'll have a bot lane that's 0-20. I'll be playing mid lane and I'll say in chat, my bad guys, my fault. I should have warded for the enemy jungle better. I should have kept my laner in lane better. I should have roamed bottom for you guys. I should have traded sides and roamed top and snowballed the top side so I could have carried, right? There are ways that you can influence the game more if you take more responsibility, even if the game was unwinnable. No matter what else you did, you still want to take responsibility for that loss so you can still get progress, right? Oftentimes I'll do that, right? I'll get into it. I'm like, my bad guys, my fault. And when you say when you're like, okay, it's my fault, how can I fix this? You go in there, even if there is no fixing it to make it a win per se, you can still get better. So now, while my teammates are writing off the game and they're like, we had a bot lane that just inted and we're not even going to worry about the loss. What I'm doing is I'm like, no. We may lose with them anyways, but I didn't play perfect. My bad. I was not expressing the best League of Legends I possibly could. I wasn't playing like Faker, and I should have been. Even if Faker would have lost if he played the game. So extreme responsibility increases the pace at which you can improve, and it increases the pace at which you can climb, even if it doesn't seem intuitive at first. So extreme responsibility. There's also a book that Jocko Willink wrote. I believe it's called Extreme Responsibility. We read this in the JS Academy, and it's a phenomenal book, and it really helped me apply this to my league games. I would really recommend you guys checking it out. Anyways, those are my top 3 kind of tips for climbing and mental philosophy tips for climbing. I hope you guys enjoyed them. Reminder, for the month of June, we're doing 2 Coachathons. These are 24-hour, well, they're 12-hour streams over 2 days on the weekend. So 2 12-hour streams over the weekend. The first one is this weekend. The next one is next weekend. If you guys would like to sign up for that, check the description. The link will be the first thing down there. I appreciate you guys watching this video. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a nice night. Peace.